And I just hit record. So, those of you who were on right at the beginning, you heard me say it, but just to repeat, the whole thing's going to be recorded and then we'll take the video and put it onto the program webpage. And I'll also email it out to you if you have an open application already. So you can go back through and review any of the information that we're going over today. So to get things started, yeah, we'll kind of formalize these introductions here. We are here today talking about the Chile Agriculture and Agroecosystems program that's going to be traveling over winter break of 2025. So this coming December, actually into January. And we'll talk about the dates here in just a little bit. And then obviously we've got Dr. Ryan Hayden here already on with us. And then the other resident director would be Dr. Gil Signorini. Those two would be, when you hear that phrase resident directors, that is just the term we use for the faculty or staff members that are leading a program traveling abroad. So they'll be doing your instruction here in country, but also obviously leading a great international experience here at the end of the year. And with that, I'll kind of run through our agenda today. So we've kind of knocked out the first one. We're hoping Dr. Gill's going to hop on with us too. You get a chance to meet him. We're going to go through the course content or the details about the autumn course that is associated with the program itself. We're going to talk a little bit about costs. I'm going to kind of give you a big picture overview on what does it cost to participate in a study abroad program so that you can have a clear idea of that heading into your decision for this program. As a caveat, we don't have the 2025 program fee published yet. It will be published at least a few weeks before the application deadline, which I'll talk a little bit later. But we have our numbers from 2023 that you can use as a pretty good ballpark for where we're going to be looking at for this year. I will also talk through scholarships and financial kind of funding resources that are available to you here inside and outside of CFAES. I'll talk about how to apply and what those kind of next steps are. And then we kind of split this presentation up. Dr. Ryan Hayden's going to then take over and walk you through some of the fun stuff. What are we actually doing in country? What are we going to see? What are we learning about? All that stuff after I wrap up. Okay. And please, if you do have any questions or anything, you can come off mute or utilize the chat in the Zoom box. You're welcome to do that however you'd like. We're happy to answer questions. Okay. So just really quickly here on the eligibility, we're looking for a 2.5 approximate GPA, which is in line with OIA's sort of normal standards when it comes to eligibility for a study abroad program. Alongside of that, we ask that you meet OIA's general eligibility requirements and conditions for participation, which essentially means you're just not on any sort of disciplinary probation or anything like that with the university. If you do have a question about your specific situation, please reach out to me. I'm happy to look into it for you. A lot of times that's a kind of a timeline thing on when those uh, suspensions or anything like that end. A lot of times you are still eligible for the program. So I always say, if you're not sure, just ask. I'd love to look into your situation. And then lastly here, you have to enroll in 3 credit hours of HCS 5797.03. That is the course associated with this program here traveling over winter break. There's going to be a number of meetings prior to actual departure, which we can get into a little bit later. That'll be a part of that, but just something for you to think about right now. If you are interested in this experience, you'll need to make sure you're holding open at least 3 credit hours in the autumn semester. And that credit will be banded into your autumn semester, just like any other class you're going to take in the fall. So whatever your full-time number is there, you want to try to avoid going over 18 credit hours, just like any other class. You'd have to pay for those additional credit hours and submit an appeal form with your academic advisor. For some students, that is the right decision. You still want to participate, even though it's going to take you up to 19 or 20 credit hours. I can almost guarantee we will have a couple students in that situation. It's not a, totally abnormal thing, but we want you to make sure you're thinking about it heading into the fall semester. Okay. So the program dates, one of the most important parts at this stage in the process is just thinking about what does travel actually look like if you do participate in this program. We're going to have a group flight for this program. So whatever the program fee is going to include your international airfare. for participating in this program. You're all going to depart from the Columbus Airport on Monday, December 29th, and get back there on Saturday, January 10th, just a couple days before the spring 2026 semester begins, which is obviously crazy to even think about from where we're at today. But as you're kind of looking at your fall semester, your December into January, these are the dates that you would want to kind of rope off if you do end up deciding to participate in this program. So tuition and program costs. So I kind of mentioned this before, but I always like to reiterate it with any of our break programs. So again, this is a winter break program. And just like our spring break programs, a way for students to save a little bit of money and still wanting to participate in a study abroad program is to do either a winter break or a spring break program. And to explain that, right, we have tons of study abroad programs that travel over the summer. You'll find a lot of options in May and June, which are really great experiences. We have a number within the college. However, the caveat with a summer program is you still have to pay Ohio State for those individual credit hours that you're enrolling in over the summer semester. So just like if you were going to take accounting or, any other class over the summer, you still have to pay for that, those individual credit hours as a part of your tuition. If you do a winter break or a spring break program, as long as you don't go over 18 credit hours, it's still just a part of your full-time credit hour allotment for that semester. So essentially, it's a way to save some money by participating in a winter break or a spring break program, as long as you don't go over 18 credit hours, which I mentioned before. The program fee, we're actually working on it. Right now we're putting together the itinerary, working with our in-country host, which we're big fans of, to come up with what's that kind of final cost going to be for you all. As you can see there in 2023, the program fee was $3,929. So that's a pretty good ballpark estimate for what we're going to be shooting for this year. So as you're beginning to think about kind of your budget and looking at scholarships and things, that's a really great number kind of to keep in mind for you. This would include your international airfare, obviously all of your lodging in country, some of your meals, all of your transportation in Chile, all of the activities and excursions that you're doing as a part of this program. Any of the farm visits or the university tours or the entrances to the national parks, to hike around a volcano, anything like that, right? It's going to be looped into your program fee. As well as international health insurance. If you do get injured or there is an accident while abroad, we do enroll you in a blanket international travel insurance policy. That's just a part of every student's experience. And again, the program fee and the tuition would be a part of your autumn 2025 OSU Bursars bill. So that bill that you get that's due about a week before the semester begins, that's when your program fee and your tuition would come due. If you would be interested in breaking up the program fee or your tuition for the fall semester, it is eligible for the Ohio State tuition payment plan, which breaks up your semester payment into 3 separate payments instead of it all being due up front. You're welcome to look into that if you're interested in it. A couple other costs here just to talk through. One is the $150 application fee that you pay at the time you actually submit your application with a credit card or a debit card. You pay that through the globaleducation.osu.edu portal. So after you've got your application all filled out, you're serious that you want to apply, that $150 is kind of that last step for you to actually submit the application. If you're accepted to the program, that's just considered your first cost to studying abroad. If you are declined from the program, that $150 is actually refunded to you. You get that back. Lastly, if you do end up participating, there's a $50 administrative fee that's tacked onto your autumn bill. I compare that to like your rec sports fee, or just essentially utilizing the services of study abroad. Every single study abroad student, the semester that they're traveling abroad, gets that $50 fee tagged onto their Bursars account. So other expenses for you to keep in mind would be meals at the airport, other meals in country, transportation to and from the Columbus airport. So just having a plan, there for what that looks like. A lot of folks will ride share or kind of, hop in together as they're getting ready to take off for the program, but just having a plan there. Personal expenses like a cell phone plan in country, knocking out that first time passport application, and any vaccines you might need. I'll kind of talk more about cost here on the next slide. So if you go to the program webpage and click on the financial tab, you'll actually see this sheet all on there. You can kind of roll through each of the descriptions that we have as a part of the program. But these are what we call out-of-pocket costs when it comes to study abroad. And a lot of these are just estimates. I always like to talk through them because very rarely are in reality are you going to be spending nearly as much as what's listed on this page. But we have to list these numbers in the way that we do because of student financial aid, actually. Number one, airfare and transportation would be zero because the group flight is looped into the program fee. So as long as you cover that program fee, your flight is zero since it's already been paid for. It's a part of the program fee. Rooming on the program is also zero. All of the accommodations you'll be staying at in country are built into the program fee. Board, if you've ever heard the phrase room and board, board is just our word for food. We use the federal government's per diem rate to come up with this number. I always say it's kind of a moving number. You can definitely spend less than that if you're interested in saving money. If you're going to eat out and kind of buy food from restaurants all the time, you could probably get close to that for your time in country. And again, these will be updated for 2025 once we have the program fee published. There's no textbook associated with this program, so that cost is zero. We are required to list $400 as the estimate for immunizations or vaccinations, as well as a $60 listing for an international travel health consultation. It is our requirement to encourage you to have a conversation with your primary health care physician, so your doctor, or visit the student health center on campus and just have that travel consultation. Hey, I'm traveling to Chile in December. Are there any immunizations or vaccinations that you would recommend for me? And then you have that conversation, obviously, with your healthcare provider. But we want to make sure you're just kind of having a ballpark in case there is any costs associated with any immunizations or vaccinations. Okay. Miscellaneous global education personal expenses, $110. This is essentially the cost of an international cell phone plan while you're abroad. It is not a requirement to enroll in an international cell phone plan, but we do know how important it is for folks to stay connected. So we obviously want to list it on here so that you have an accurate kind of idea of what it could look like. Most U.S. carriers right now are around $10 a day. My carrier, AT&T, just bumped theirs up to $12 a day, which isn't super fun. But you can actually save quite a bit if you look into some short-term international plans just by Googling. But we kind of just use the standard rate from the U.S. carriers to come up with that estimate. Yeah, just the last thing there at the bottom. If you don't have your passport yet, that's something I would love to help you knock out here in the Columbus campus area or whatever campus you're zooming in from. As long as you're above the age of 16 and applying for that first time U.S. passport, it's then good for 10 years. So whether you apply for the program and travel with these guys to Chile or not, let's knock out that first passport application so it can be a reason that you can travel in the future. If you have questions about that, just shoot me an email. I'd love to kind of help you knock that out.
One thing I would say,
Yep.
not to undercut, Ryan or anything, but it is very unlikely that you'll pay that full $1,000. That's only if you have no passport, never had an immunization. You want to, live high on the hog for every restaurant you ever go to. I think you would be hard pressed to spend that much.
Yeah, I should have reiterated that. You're totally right. These are typically always inflated costs. So please don't let that, $1,000 scare you off. It's really just more of an estimate for that student that, wants a ballpark for this idea. But like I kind of just explained, I think there's a lot of places to save money as you go through that list. So don't let that scare you off. So scholarships here, just kind of turning the page, from cost to funding opportunities. So want to make sure, number one, that you understand typically most financial aid can be applied to help cover the cost of your program fee. Okay. Like I mentioned it before, your program fee is going to be billed onto your Bursars account. So just like on your statement of account, you'll look at your costs for the autumn semester, and there would just be a line item that says OIA program fee, which has the cost of the Chile program built onto it. Because of that, again, the vast majority of financial aid can be applied to help cover the cost of this program. If you are looking to utilize financial aid to help cover your cost on this experience, you need to make sure that you submit a cost of attendance appeal form with the Buckeye Link Financial Aid Office. Um, excuse me, more details on that form would be provided in your acceptance letter. Essentially, that's just the form that lets financial aid and the U.S. government know your cost of attending Ohio State is going up for that semester because you're participating in a study abroad program. Let's see. CFAES scholarships. I always want to mention this. It doesn't matter how many times I say it at the info session. We will have students that don't submit their CFAES general scholarship application. Um, please don't leave any money on the table. If you are looking to find scholarships to help cover the cost of this program, and you are a student within CFAES, which includes our friends in SCNR, please make sure that you can just find this form on Google, or you can find it on the financial tab of the program webpage. But you just submit this one application to the college once a year. So every single year you're a student here, make sure that you submit it. But there's a whole separate set of funds that are just for study abroad scholarships. Okay. And really loosely, with our language, it's easy for me to guarantee this. At least 50% of our study abroad students will get at least $1,000 from the college just as a study abroad scholarship. So if you go back and remember, we're thinking about the program fee is going to be somewhere around 4,000 for this program. You're already knocking out that $1,000, hopefully with a CFAES scholarship. You're well on your way to beginning to fund an experience. So please make sure you're not going to find a scholarship with a higher award percentage than that. Knock out your CFAES general scholarship application. You need to have it submitted by the program application deadline, which is June 10th. And we'll kind of reiterate that in a second. So that's the place to start if you're in CFAES. Outside of that, the Office of International Affairs has a plethora of scholarships that we call university-wide scholarships, which means it doesn't matter what your major is or which program you're participating on, you're eligible to apply for those. If you look on the program webpage and click on the financial tab, you'll just see a link that says grants and scholarships. It'll take you to that page on the OIA website, which I always like to brag about. That is the one stop shop for study abroad scholarships at Ohio State. So any scholarship available to you as an OSU student to help with a study abroad program is going to be listed on that page, because I know, it's really easy for information to seem pretty spread out depending on where you're looking for it. Make sure you utilize that grants and scholarships page on the OIA website. And yeah, lastly here, the federally funded scholarships, I want to mention both of them. One is the Gilman Scholarship, which is only open to students with a Pell Grant as a part of their financial aid package. I've served as a Gilman reviewer before. I've helped students with their scholarship applications. If you have a Pell Grant as part of your financial aid package, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you get started on that Gilman scholarship. And then kind of the subsection of the Gilman is the Gilman McCain Scholarship, which is only open to children of active duty military. So definitely kind of a niche group, but those dollars go, unused every single year. If I'm talking to you, please email me. I'd love to look into your situation. And obviously we don't have the bullet point on there, but this program, just like all of our other study abroad programs, is open to STEP funding. So if you're in the second year transformational experience program right now in your sophomore year, this Chile program would be an opportunity for you to use your STEP scholarship. And if you have questions on that, please reach out to me. So the next steps on the application side, it's just number one, start that application. If you haven't already, head to globaleducation.osu.edu, search for this program. You can just search Chile. You'll be able to find it. Scroll to the bottom and click that bar that goes across the bottom that says apply now, and you'll just log in with your Ohio State credentials. That opens your application. There's absolutely zero obligation for you to, end up submitting it just because you opened it. I always say if you're thinking about the program and you're interested in it at all, the best thing you can do is just open your application, which lets us know that you're interested. And as the program fee gets published and we have updated information about the program itself, you'll get an email because we know you're interested in the program, and that info is going to help you make your decision. Okay. Yeah, so next steps, and we obviously kind of have part two of our presentation here. Dr. Hayden's going to take over. But obviously, study abroad's a big decision. So having that conversation with your family, your friends, your academic advisor is an excellent person to kind of continue, exploring this idea with. Apply for the program. And this is my time to reiterate this. The program deadline is June 10th, which we know, folks, this spring semester is beginning to draw to a close. Buckeyes are going to travel all sorts of different places across the state and across the country and even the world to knock out internships and jobs and whatnot over the summer. It's easy to forget about a deadline, that is in the middle of the summer if you're not checking your email all the time. So I would just take that moment right now. If you're interested in the program at all, whatever your calendar or your reminder thing is, put it in your phone. Just to remember, June 10th is that application deadline, which is going to be the same deadline for your CFAES scholarship application. Makes it really easy to remember. Let's knock out that passport application. Like I mentioned before, just reach out to me if you have any questions on handling that. Would love to help you get that done. And I think with that, if anybody has any questions, please feel free, but I'm going to turn the presentation over as I stop sharing my screen to Dr. Hayden.
All right. Is there any way that, so you were showing my presentation, is there some way that I can control that? Or do I need to share my screen on this end?
Good question. I have your presentation pulled up, so I can pull it up.
I can do it then. I've got it here. So
and yeah, Lauren, great question. After applying, when will we hear back if we got accepted? It would be pretty quick after that June 10th date. We'll essentially come together, review the applications, and hopefully get you an answer within a week or two of the application deadline. It should be pretty quick. Absolutely.
All right. Can you guys see that?
Yep, I can see it.
All right. Excellent. All right. So just through the details of the course, and also to give Dr. Signorini an opportunity to introduce himself. So Gil, why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself? Tell us what your background is, what department, and what your expertise is.
That works. That works. Thanks, Ryan. So good evening, everyone. I'm Gil Signorini. I am an assistant professor in the Department of Horticulture and Crop Science. Second year helping in this program. So I'm super happy to be here. If you happen to be interested, my area of expertise is in supply chain, value chain management, and farm management. So part of the activities we carry in Chile have a lot to do with international trade and value chain management. So that's why I ended up taking part in this program due to common interests. But yeah, happy to be here and available for any questions if you guys want. If anything remains unanswered after Dr. Hayden's presentation.
Yeah, so thank you, Gil. So just a little bit of background. This course has been, I think this may be like the 7th or 8th iteration of the course. I've been involved. This will be my 4th experience with the course, Gil's 2nd. And the way I got involved initially is my wife is from Chile. So I have a family connection. And we also have strong connections on the Worcester campus to Chile as well. The professor who was involved in developing the course for the very first time, Doug Doohan, is based on the Worcester campus. He has hosted several graduate students from Chile, one of whom is our primary contact in Chile, Rodrigo Figueroa, who is a faculty member at the Catholic University of Chile. And so this is a very well-established program and an exciting experience, I think. So just to give you a little bit of background, the course is a 3-credit course based out of the Department of Horticulture and Crop Sciences. So for those that are in HCS, it can actually be part of their credits for their degree within the major. For those that aren't, it would be part of your free electives. And this course is open to students on the Columbus and Worcester ATI campuses. Both undergraduates and graduate students can participate. And historically, we've had students from all of those different portions of the university, which I think is a really great experience. So we've got students with different expertise, academic interests, and rank within the university. So that's great because everybody can offer their own insights and experiences, which is part of the learning process. So I mentioned that Dr. Figueroa is involved in this course. He will be our host, and we are fortunate to have a really strong university connection in country. I've come to understand that that's not always the case, and the great thing about that is we've got a university in the country that can offer us unique opportunity to hear from their academic experts, build on their relationships in country with industry, and and that's just a great overall experience. So the Catholic University of Chile is also called PUC, and it is based in Santiago, where the capital is, where the majority of the population is based. But we won't be staying just in Santiago, as you'll see. One of the reasons why Chile is such a fantastic place to learn about agriculture is that it's an incredibly diverse landscape. So it stretches from 20 degrees south, which is actually in the north of Chile, and then stretches all the way down to 55 degrees south. And that basically also includes areas from the high desert and arid, semi-arid regions in the north to temperate rainforests in the south, subarctic, and even Antarctic regions, and also has just a vast diversity of elevations as well. So we've got Mount Aconcagua in the central part of the country, is higher at 22,000 feet than any U.S. Elevation. And then you've also got the Central Valley, and then an extremely long coastline. So really interesting geography. In the north, the Atacama Desert is the driest desert in the world, less than 1 inch per year. And there's some years that don't get any rainfall or go even 10 years without a drop of rain. So the landscape is kind of like the landscape of Mars in some respects. Down in the south, the Valdivian rainforest gets more than 250 inches of rain a year, which is an enormous amount. So just put it in perspective, you feel like Ohio's a bit rainy. We only get 30 to 45 inches of rain a year. So southern Chile rains pretty much every day. So we'll start in the Central Valley of Chile. We'll land in Santiago and immediately drive out to some of the vineyards and orchards of Chile. In that Central Valley region, Chile is world renowned for their wine and their table grapes. So we'll see those production systems, as well as fruit and nut orchards for avocados, cherries, walnuts, and so forth, almonds. Lots of horticultural crops are produced in those areas, as well as some annual row crops, corn, wheat, rice, things like that. And thing to keep in mind is that Chile is such a unique place in that uh, it's very similar to some place like California, but it's in the southern hemisphere. So uh, the United States and Europe are important northern export markets for key crops during our winter. That's their key production season. So it's really a unique market that they've taken advantage of, and really brings in, some of the interesting expertise that Dr. Signorini has, being kind of an expert in export markets, specialty crops, and also having, come originally from Brazil in the Southern Hemisphere himself. He brings in a lot of expertise in that area. On my side of things, I'm more on the agronomic side, so production methods, soils, sustainable agriculture, how that interacts with the environment. Those are my areas of expertise. All right, so here's an example of some of the folks that have come with us in the past, visited vineyards, seen how wine is produced from production to bottle. We also are planning to visit a university fruit research farm where we see how fruit trees are propagated, grafted, and prepared for planting out in the field. We visit production orchards for avocados, citrus, and so forth. This research site is also a really important center for plant disease research, and a great place to learn about phytosanitary policies for export crops. That's basically, how do we protect the transmission of insects and disease from one continent to the next? And that's an important, issue. And we get a chance to hear from the experts in that, based at the research farm. From the central part of Chile, we'll travel to the north to visit a city on the coast called La Serena. We're expecting to spend the New Year's holiday up there. This is on the edge of the desert, so subtropical arid fruit production, pomegranates, figs, cherimoya, maybe a species or two that you've never heard of. These are areas where a unique set of crops are produced, but also we get a chance to grapple with some of the very real challenges that come with finding labor to produce crops. So Chile is a fairly well-developed country. Dealing with migrant farm labor is a massive issue there, as it is here in the U.S. And we get a chance to grapple with those issues in a country that that maybe we haven't spent much time thinking about. One of the other interesting aspects of the La Serena region is we'll take a trip up the Elqui Valley to visit regions where they're growing pisco grapes, which are the main fruit used to make a distilled spirit called pisco. It's kind of the bourbon of Chile, and we'll visit some of those distilleries. We'll visit some of the dams and reservoirs that provide water for the region, and grapple with some of the environmental and climatic challenges that come with having to produce, produce in a very dry climate, and how do you overcome those challenges? One of the other important aspects of the course is to gain an appreciation and first-hand experience with just the natural environment and the ecosystems that are present in Chile. So we'll visit sites where we get a chance to see penguins, potentially seals, whales. In the past have been sighted, not always, but if we're lucky, you never know. We also get a chance to do some stargazing. So the dry desert of Chile is one of the world's best places to look at the night sky. And we've also got opportunities potentially to visit NASA research centers, NASA observatories that are based there, as well as, if those opportunities don't come to fruition, there's public access, kind of tourist-based observatories as well. And all of those can be great experiences. In addition to the north of Chile, we also fly south. So we get on an airplane and fly several thousand miles south to the volcanic region of southern Chile, sometimes on the edge of what's called Patagonia. And this volcanic region, from my standpoint as a soil scientist, is super exciting. Volcanic soils are very unique. They have unique, well-drained, high organic matter properties, also very acidic, so they can pose unique opportunities and challenges for producers in those regions. This is a picture of our course standing on a former lava flow. Well, I guess it is a lava flow, but it's cooled to form that pumice or lava rock that some of us are familiar with. That lava flow originated in the volcano that's in the background. So we may do some hiking on the foothills of the volcano, which is really a neat experience and something that was a highlight for a lot of our students. Also in the south, and remember, this is where they get rainfall year-round, and they can grow lots of grass, which is excellent for livestock production. Have an opportunity to visit local dairies and see grazing systems, discuss pasture ecology and the production of milk and cheese. What's also interesting is that the dairymen in this region, many of them are actually from New Zealand. They're recent immigrants from New Zealand. They left farms that, in search of farmland that was of good quality, but also more reasonable cost. And so that's kind of an interesting, recent trend that we've learned about in this area. In addition to livestock production, that graze on pastures, we've also got one of the world's largest fish exporting, economies. And there's several companies based in southern Chile that are involved in fish farming, raising trout and salmon for export markets throughout the world. And we can visit some of the world's highest quality and high-tech fish production operations in the world. They manage the diet of these fish in such a high quality and high input way, which is really interesting for students to learn about. Within those little tents are fish tanks where millions of fish are being raised throughout the year. It's also really important for us to take an opportunity to learn something about the indigenous people groups that have populated Chile for tens of thousands of years. They've uh, got a really unique culture, unique set of foods that we can experience. We often visit a village and they spend an afternoon with us. We share a meal together and talk a little bit about their culture, what they've experienced historically, some of the political conflict that has occurred and continues to be an issue with the Western settlers over the course of the last about 400 years. They've got a very long history in the country, and so this is a unique opportunity to learn about the Mapuche culture and hear from folks within that culture directly from them. So this is just mainly an appetizer for you guys. I want you guys to kind of see some of the different experiences that you'll get a chance to be part of. There will be some other experiences that we're able to come up with in more of a, as we get closer to the departure date. And one of the neat things is that Dr. Figueroa, who is based in Chile, has lots of great connections, will be traveling with us for part of this trip, and more importantly, helping to identify some great experiences for the course. And in my personal opinion, Chile is just a great place to go and visit. You'll see fabulous mountains and fabulous agricultural landscapes, beautiful ocean views, and just a great place to integrate the ecological, agricultural, and cultural diversity of the country. I'm a bit biased, I have to say. I've been there many times with both students and my wife. It is just an enormously gratifying opportunity to spend time with you guys, help you learn about a neat place that means a lot to me. So one of the things I always tell students, if you're interested in going, please sign up. But more than that, you guys are also some of our best recruiters for the course. We need a minimum of 10 or 11 students to be able to go on this course. So to the extent that you can bring in other interested students and help us populate the course with some of your friends and colleagues, we encourage you to do so. That you guys are often the best recruiters. Ryan and Gil and I, we work hard to get this, out to students so they know about it. But sometimes, the best plug comes from you students. So with that, I'd like to give you guys a chance to ask us some questions, and yeah, so feel free to raise your hand virtually.